Hi, my name is Amanda Panacea, and you're listening to the Healer Revolution podcast. This is a community for self-healers, biohackers, practitioners, and any other helping professionals. You're in the right place if you're seeking conversations about how pain becomes passion, the connection between physical, energetic, mental, and our spiritual self, finding your body's ancient wisdom, the latest biohacking technologies, clinical research, and if you just want to nerd out about complex biochemistry and quantum physics. But this is also for entrepreneurs who seek infinite abundance and a supportive community. So pour a cup of King coffee or Sistas tea and let's join the revolution. Hello and welcome to the Healer Revolution. I'm really excited today to introduce to you my friend Ildiko Szabo. She is the founder of the Bold Femme movement. She is a loving, creative, passionate woman who is also a world traveler. She's born in Hungary. She's lived in 8 different countries, mostly as a solo travel, built up a new life searching to find answers to many of her life's challenges, only to discover that her answers were inside her own inner wisdom. She specializes in putting you in your personal power. She supports beautiful souls just like you, guiding you to see what's available in your life so that you can express your soul's mission and purpose, gain clarity in your life, and with her loving guidance, you find your own answers within yourself. She believes life is a fun journey, and we get to enjoy exploring ourselves' curiosity. Hi, everyone. I am so glad that you could join me today. I have a really special guest here. Her name is Ildiko Szabo, and I personally met her through a group coaching program that we're both involved in. And I really honestly don't know a lot about her, but I know that she is really flourishing right now. So I'm really excited to have her on. Hi, Ildiko.
Oh, hi, Amanda. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, I am really excited to hear your story and hear all the awesome things you have going on right now. So if you want to just hop right into it, just basically let us know your history and, how you got into this coaching space.
So I would like to talk about one of the biggest things which happened in my life, which was at the age of 15, I got to go from Hungary, Europe, to the United States to study there for a year. And in those days, there was no free travel from Hungary. My relatives, my aunt and my uncle invited me. And I jumped on that plane. My parents saw that big opportunity and they let me go. So it was a culture shock at the beginning because I did not speak the language, right? And within 2 weeks, I got to go to school because my aunt and my uncle said that this is an opportunity for you to speak English. So we speak Hungarian for 2 weeks and that's it. And that's how it actually was. At that point, my mind and all the kids' mind is like a sponge. You just take it in. But that was not the biggest lesson I learned. It was that I learned that I am unstoppable. I'm able to create things. I'm able to overcome. So this I have used and I'm still using this in my life. So after I was supposed to stay for a year, but in the meantime, I became a teenager and I was a bit difficult to handle, which is normal at that stage. So after 9 months, my aunt told me, okay, now you can go home. You speak the language. And so I did. I do have an extremely good relationship with them. I just call them today. They are in their 80s already. And I still feel so grateful that they took me. So can you imagine taking somebody else's kid to a different continent and take care of them for a long period and making sure that the kid is safe, nothing happens, and give them back to their parents whole. And they really did this. So after that time, I really traveled a lot. This was actually my getaway. when I got bored or I didn't want to do the work, I said, well, I can do something. I can go to a different country and be entertained there with the new things. But I only found out later that I was avoiding a lot of things. I got to work through that. Those were the unhealed parts. And that's where the gold is. The things you don't want to do, the places you don't want to go to because it's hard, it's difficult, it's annoying. I've been pushing myself all my life, so I cannot complain. I have been wearing several hats. I've worked in the catering, hotel catering business. I have become a tour guide, working on a bus with tourists. I've worked in call centers, solving Windows, IT, and printer issues for a couple of years. I'm also a goldsmith. I had my own jewelry line for a while, but I just did not do anything for a longer period. I did not push through. And this is I was not really committed. I had one foot in and one foot out. And once I understood that this is one of my patterns and I'm actually doing this, then I started the work. So I lived in 8 different countries. So living means that I went there, I got a job, I built up a life, and I mostly did this alone. And it's a power of believing yourself, being able to connect with people, which I'm using in my coaching right now. So connect with you on a soul level, because I think this is the only way, and see behind the curtain what are the patterns and what are your learning lessons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I would like to share a couple of tools which have worked in my life.
Awesome.
Because a lot of us are in our head, and you get to be in your heart, because that's where the answers are. So I'm still in the morning before my feet hit the floor. I tell myself one nice thing, and I put my hand on my heart and breathe through it and start visualizing the day. What do I get to create today? And that shifts the energy on the spot. So I'm an intuitive, I'm a coach, and let's say I started my journey in 2017. That's when was my first list build. And I did one audio summit, but I just couldn't go further. So I had the list, but I did not know how to connect with my list.
When you say list, what are you referring to?
So I did an audio summit. Mm-hmm. So I did have an email list. I had over 1,000 people signing up for my summit.
Okay, got it.
And this is how I was connecting with people. And I did the list building, and then I just got stuck on some level, and I was not willing to invest into me at that point. So practically, I lost that list. Because the truth is, if you could go there alone, you would have done it already. I'm working currently with 2 different coaches who are taking me to the next level, because I don't think it's possible to do it alone. What do you think, Amanda?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you can only get so far on your own, but then you will almost always need some sort of outside perspective on, how they maybe see you and how you're showing up in their eyes. But also somebody who's been there before you and made a lot of mistakes maybe and become successful, because they can really help you figure out the path that's right for you and going in the right direction, instead of maybe down a bunch of other paths that are not going to lead you anywhere. So yeah, I mean, I agree. And I feel like I realized that at one point as well. Like, okay, it's time to ask for help finally.
Yes. So I went back and built another list in 2020. I did another summit and I said, I'm not stopping now. And this is when I started actually hiring coaches. I did a leadership program, and I was constantly out on the internet, practically posting, doing live events. However, the money was not coming in. it did not work.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't understand this for a very long time because I was not an energetic match. And what did it take me to get there, actually? I had to heal all my unhealed parts. That means that all my relationships, I had to go through all my relationships one by one if there is still anything there. Forgiving and healing. Yes, it was my mom as well, half a year ago. Currently, I'm living in Costa Rica, and my family is far away, so I keep in contact with them via Skype. We have a really good relationship. However, my mom would still like to tell me what and how to do. And she always has an opinion about my things. I have asked her millions of times, just hold me high and think that I'm doing it and it's done. But she didn't do that. So we got to that level where we didn't talk about things. And how I was approaching her to heal the relationship, I asked her, tell our story. Let's go back there. How did you feel when you found out that I'm coming? How did you feel when I was born? And really, we reconnected beautifully on a whole new level. And so I did with all my other relationships, even with those souls who are not here anymore, because you can heal your relationship with anybody. And you get to go there because this is taking up so much space energetically and in your soul that it's totally holding you back from your next level. I got to go to that place as well, where when I was connecting with people, it was not in the back of the mind that I need to sign them up. I just connected with them and I asked them what's happening with them in their life and just connect on that level without wanting to sell anything. And this is when people started to ask about my business.
Yeah.
And
that's amazing.
Yes, it was because I shifted, I changed the energy, and I stepped into generosity and serving without wanting to sell anything.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a lot of listening, yes. And this is how I was practically able to do a quantum leap within 72 hours, making more money than I did in the previous year. And it was it was a beautiful feeling, but it took a lot for me to get there because I not only had to heal all the relationship, being in a different energy, I got to go to other parts as well, which I was hiding deep down in my soul. And this is why I needed my business coach to trigger me on that. And she did a really good job. And the cat got out of the bag.
Yeah.
And I healed that one as well. And it was extremely painful. But this is how you actually free yourself. And we all know what that is. It's just not easy to go there alone. And I didn't go there alone either, because I had to go back into past lives and I had to understand a lot of things. Why am I running that pattern?
And by pattern, do you mean the avoidant behaviors?
Well, not only that, it's an avoiding. Okay, I can talk about this. Yes, it's the unhealed part was with the Hungarians, because I didn't want to go online in Hungarian, and I didn't want to be connected with the Hungarians in that way. I get to lead the way for the Hungarians as well, because I actually know how to do that. When I actually stepped into that energy to start meditations in Hungarian as well, a lot of weight went off. But this is from a past life, which I'm not going to go into why it is. We resolved it, and I feel free. I feel connected. I feel loved, and I can give in Hungarian as well.
So thanks for explaining that.
What was that?
I was just saying thanks for explaining it.
Yes, it's because, of course, how would anybody know what that is? But these are all the things around you. which keep you stuck on a level. And you can take 15 new courses. I did that as well. Going from one course to the other one and just listening to different speakers every week and taking notes, and it just did not happen. And also the anger. I learned to use anger as my fuel. We all have something which keeps us going. And you get to find that out for yourself, what that is. Like, you want to look really good, you want to look healthy. If you wouldn't do it for yourself, do it for your kids. Put that example in front of you that I want to be a grandma and I want to have that feeling to play with my grandkids, and I get to be healthy, I get to look good, whatever that is for you. And these are all different for everybody. And I think all the answers are within. Nobody can really tell you from the outside. One of the tools which were really working for me as well, those silence days. When you are in nature or in your wherever you want to be, and you just connect to yourself and you listen. And for a lot of people, just like me, this was very difficult because I had to have music or I had to talk to people or I just had to do something. And it's not about that. It's your being connected, being intimate, being vulnerable, being loving, and paying that risk that even you give love, even you don't get back. And that is a hard thing to do. Those are the healing risks. And you get to love all of you. The good, the bad, the ugly. We all have it. It's very tiring to look good all the times. And it's not real either. I have bad days. I have bad days when I don't want to do anything, or I get angry or I get triggered. But I have trained myself how to shift. And I make it fun in a way. And I get to laugh at myself. That's the other thing, because what else is there? We are here to experience. And experience means the good, bad, the ugly, because this is taking you. Like, if you didn't have that story you had, what would you tell now? Everything is an experience. I just left a long-term relationship in October. We were living in Panama, and I gave myself permission to move on because we were not aligned anymore. And it's all good. And this is a very important element, giving yourself permission to do things, because we all know within whether it's working or not. And filling your cup first, because you can only give so much. And I work, actually, some of the ways I work is with your given name and your date of birth, and I convert everything into numbers and see what's available for you in this life. What can you create? What you are bringing from past lives, where you're stuck. And I've been doing this for 8+ years, and I also coach around this. It's a good thing that I have been wearing so many hats in my life, because it makes it easier for me to connect with anybody, because I've been there as well. I've been a waitress. I did cleaning. I did so many other things. But the bottom line is, you get to go to that place where you believe in yourself, that there is so much more for you. We are all on a mission, and you get to share your gifts with the world.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing is going back and determining what is the subconscious programming that's holding you back, and working on maybe forgiving yourself, forgiving another person for what they did to you, and allowing you to actually believe in yourself and rid yourself of those old belief systems, so that you can actually reach the goals, manifest, become the person you want to be. So that's a really awesome technique that you're using.
Yes.
I wanted to go back to what you mentioned about the converting into numbers. Is this a technique, or is this something that you created on your own?
No, it's called Kabbalah. It's a very ancient knowledge. However, I combine it with so many other things I have actually learned in the last 20 years. So it's not only that. And this is actually about your superpower. We all have a superpower. And it is about putting back people into their power, because many times you don't even know, like, for example, somebody knows how to communicate, but they're not using it. And we go through these areas one by one, like, this shows up as a knowledge for you. Are you using it? Or how can you use it? And this is what I do.
Have you had to give up coffee for health reasons? Maybe because of the stress it was putting on your adrenals, maybe because it was messing with your sleep, maybe because you felt terrible after drinking it, or maybe because you were told coffee had mold on the beans and you needed to stay away from mold. Well, what if I told you there's an organic, mycotoxin-free, quality coffee that contains reishi spores or Ganoderma lucidum? Ganoderma lucidum helps to modulate your immune system, adapt to stress, balance hormones, and doesn't give you the jitters or shakes like regular coffee used to. Sounds too good to be true, right? It's called King Coffee by the company Organo. And King Coffee came into my life when I was struggling with chronic hives, full body eczema, and mast cell activation syndrome. I hadn't drank coffee in years because it made me feel anxious, shaky, and clammy. So I had no expectations that drinking King Coffee would be any different. However, I decided to give it a try after seeing lots of amazing practitioners talk about the benefits of reishi online. I tried a 7-day sample and the chronic hives were gone by day 5. I was in shock. After that, I dove into the research on reishi and found that there are over 3,000 peer-reviewed PubMed clinical trials using reishi Ganoderma as an intervention. The company Organo also has a patent protected on their harvesting process. They double crack open the spore shells, which makes them up to 80% more potent than the body of the reishi, which is usually used in other reishi products. This also makes the spores 90% more bioavailable for your body to use. If you would like to try King Coffee, visit thehealerrevolution.myorganogold.com, or for a 7-day trial, you can check out my link tree on my Instagram at Amanda Panacea. So let's get into what your business actually looks like, because I know that I wish 10, 15 years ago, somebody told me that I didn't have to get tons of college degrees and put myself into hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of debt to help people, that it's literally available to you at any moment. So yeah, like, what does your coaching business look like? I know you kind of went into like how you started it with the email list, but what was the decision to go into coaching, and how did you determine to set it up?
Probably I have been a coach all my life, but I was not aware of it. And I wanted to do something online because I was traveling, I was living in different countries. This seemed like a good fit for me. I started out as a health coach. I have a certificate on that, which I still love, but I'm more like a soul coach, I call myself. But I do believe we get to work on all the levels, because your body is your temple. That's so important. If you don't have a healthy body, how is your body going to take you anywhere? It doesn't work. And also working on your mind, on your heart. I did have a business partner last year, and we did a lot of live events, and we were following coaches how to do it. And many times the answer is within you. So I don't know if anybody's looking for an advice or anything. You know what's right for you, and it gets to be right for you, because then you are an energetic match. And we actually did a lot of things which we didn't think it was right. We followed the coaching and it didn't work, and we didn't make the money, and we didn't sign up the clients. And when you go into the space, when you have enough experience out there already, then you get to do your own thing. So in this quantum leap I didn't use any website, because my website is still not ready. I used a PayPal link, and it worked. It was me showing up in my energy and the PayPal link. And I didn't think this was possible because we are all coming from that place that you get to have a good reputation, a website people get to look at, and a lot of articles and whatever that is out there, being on podcasts. And it's not about that. It's about that intimate connection you build up in that moment. But again, this didn't happen overnight for me as well. So it depends where you're at in the process. Because even a good year ago, let me tell you, I was even afraid to go on camera. And I did 2 audio summits. Thank God, a program pushed me through visibility. And I got to practice that every day. And that's a huge one. And going to the worth issues, how much is my worth? So I really thought about what am I bringing into people's life? And if you work with me, you find I'm not going to tell you anything you don't know. I'm just going to tell it to you from a totally new perspective, that it makes so much sense what you're going through. However, these questions you've been asking yourself for decades, and now the answer is there. So how much is that worth? That's a really good question, I think. And this is where your value starts. So when you're serving people and being unattached. So a lot of coaches tell you have a niche. You don't need to have a niche. I mean, yes, I used to work with women only, but I'm open to men as well, whoever I'm attracting. And it's working. It doesn't have to be one thing. Because the people who align with you energetically, they find you anyway. And you get to be open, you get to be serving, and you get to be unattached. This is what's coming to me right now about this.
Yeah, I agree completely. So let's get into I guess more technical. When you work with somebody, what does that look like? Do you see them once a week? Do you have a specific program that you follow? Do you use workbooks? I mean, what does it look like?
This is really good because I create that for the person, whatever they desire. And we get to create a package together. Because this is I used to have that, I had that piece of paper and I was really working on signing up these people and it didn't work. But if you come from that perspective, how can you serve that person? Would once a week work, or maybe once in 2 weeks? Would they want to have a Voxer next to it that they have access to you at all times? Or they would rather do a daily email, whatever? You get to communicate. And also, this is a really good question. Ask that person, ask about their vision, because a lot of people don't even go there. So what is your vision for your life? If you could live in any way, how would you want to live? And if I bring that vision to you as a possibility, how much does that worth to you? And I think these are brilliant questions. So you actually work through that with the client while you are on Zoom or on the phone or how in person, however you are doing it.
Yeah.
At the moment, I still don't have a group coaching. I'm just getting ready for the downloads. And it's going to be about energetics, relationships, and I'm still working on the details. However, it does not mean that I cannot sign up people for that, because I know it's going to be there. And that's the other side, when you are actually in that position, when you say, I know what I'm going to teach anyway. I have everything within you. So here's the early bird, sign up.
Yeah, I think that also goes back to the theme of believing in yourself and not having any of those old scripts or old programs that tell you can't do it, or you have to have a website, or all the things you were mentioning before. And then, so in regards to your business structure and working with people, do you also make sure to make time for yourself and self-care? And obviously you said working with other coaches, business coaches or life coaching is really important to you also. So do you have anything else?
Well, of course, self-care is number one, right? So I tell you what I did today. So I'm an early bird, so I wake up around today I did at 5:17. I hopped on my bicycle and to move my body because that works for me in the morning. I mean, for some people, it's meditation. For others, it's dancing. It's what is your thing? Or somebody just has to sit in nature for 10 minutes. So I popped on my bicycle. I got espresso and a croissant, and by 5:55 in the morning, I was back because my first client call was at 6 a.m. because she lives in Bermuda. It was already 9 a.m. her time. I love the time zones. And so I had a 1 hour call with her. And after that, because I love to go grounding is very important for me, nature, walking barefoot on the beach. Then I went back to the beach and I did my beach walk and I jumped in the ocean and I came home and then I started my working day. And yeah, today I have an interview. I have 3 more clients and that's it for today. I do have days off where I actually don't have any clients. However, I'm willing to move them around as well, what works for me the best, because you get to be flexible. If you're not in that energy, don't do it. Cancel it because it's not going to work. You cannot connect with your clients. You cannot write that content. You cannot do that interview. And I allow myself to do this and yeah, filling my cup. So I do have a massage every week, which is, I love massages. Yes, I eat healthy, but of course, I eat pizza as well. I love pizza, but I don't eat pizza every day. And I love my green juice as well. So I'm finding a healthy balance that I have everything, whatever I want, whatever I desire. And I just go there. Yeah, I'm working with a business coach and I'm working with another coach as well. In the meantime, I still find online community and offline community as well, because I think it is very important because online work, yeah, you can be stuck in front of the computer for 10 hours. Is that going to bring you anything? Probably not, because you're going to be drained. So, and I have off time where I don't have take my phone, I don't take nothing. I'm not available. That's my time. I don't want to be called all the time or hearing Facebook beeping and all that. So I'm inviting you to find that time off when you're really connecting with yourself. I do have pen paper with me so I can take notes on downloads because when I'm free of everything, a lot of things are coming through. And this is all what's coming to me right now.
Yeah, you have an awesome schedule. Jumping in the ocean, bike rides, coffees. That sounds wonderful. Yeah. So
yes, but let me tell you something. Exactly 10 years ago, I was working in a call center with hundreds of other people in an open office, taking calls in German and English, solving computer problems. And I hated it. I'll be honest with you.
Who doesn't? Who would love that?
On that desk, I had a picture of a beach. And I had this ridiculous desire that one day I'm just going to live at the beach. And here we go. I'm doing it right now. And it's been a bumpy ride. It normally is. And you get to visualize what you desire. I still have a vision board on my fridge. I'm still doing it because there is always something else. And this is how you become unstoppable, because these desires and dreams, they change themselves. And you get to go there and giving yourself permission to do a lot of things you want. Yeah, that's it practically. And making it nice for you, because if you don't fill your cup and if you don't believe in you and if you don't love yourself, how do you expect other people love you? And one more thing is coming as well. It's like people can only do to you what you let them do to you. You get to draw those healthy boundaries. I'm a recovering people pleaser. I know that. saying no for me was an extremely difficult thing. And I got to practice that every day. And this is the only way through.
I often tell people you are manifesting your life, whether you know it or not, whether you're actively doing it or not. So change the way you're thinking, change what you're planning. Make sure that you're always in the positive. Even when bad things happen, if you start to get stuck in that victimhood, it's only going to manifest as more and more negativity. So making sure that you can always flip it around and make sure that on a daily basis, you are going in the right direction for your goals is super important. Otherwise, one day you wake up and you realize, how did I get here?
Yes, we are manifesting 24/7. We are co-creators with God, universe, source. We are source. And you get to watch your being. If you're angry, you are just going to attract more anger. And if you're happy, it's like your flow through your day. And nobody can keep that state. I don't think it's possible. However, you get to shift and you get to find those tools. I used to carry a humor book with me. When I was in a bad mood, I opened it and I started laughing. But there are millions other ways. Connect with people. Focus outside when that happens. Shake it off. Or just watch something funny that you get to shift and see the possibility and be playful. I mean, it's up to you. What do you get to create in this life? It's really up to you. The whole game is up to you.
You just mentioned a lot of really awesome nervous system balancing techniques, like shaking it off, dancing. Whenever anything bad happens, that can bring you back into that parasympathetic and that ventral vagal where you're connecting with people. And that's super important. So having those tools can be really helpful as well.
Yeah, or call a friend, tell me a joke.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Perfect. Yeah. So one of the questions that I ask people so far that on each show has been, what has been one of your biggest life lessons? And then what has been one of your biggest life wins?
So, life lesson. So, whatever I crave or whatever I want, I get to give it to myself. I've started hugging myself at some point. It felt really strange at the beginning because I wanted to be hugged and nobody was there at that point. And however, it felt so nourishing. The other thing when I want to reach out to get external feedback or validation, I tell myself in that moment that, Ildiko, you're wise enough to make this choice right now. And then I'm back in my power. Because the truth is, you always gonna have yourself, and this is your starting point. And you get to pour into you. And the other question was the biggest win. I have just experienced this recently, actually. I thought I was generous, but I was not. And I just experienced generosity lately. And it's one of the most beautiful things to be in that space of giving, not wanting anything. Everything you ever wanted is just flowing to you because you are in that space.
Beautiful. Awesome. Well, it was amazing talking with you. I know you said you don't have a website, but is there anywhere where you can be found?
Yes, I will give you a couple of links, or do you want me to? Okay. Well, yeah, we can put it under. That's probably the easiest.
Yeah, I'll add everything to the show notes, but if you just wanted to on air say like your Instagram handle or where to find you.
Well, my Instagram handle, the Ildiko Szabo, but in between dots, and I'm not going to spell this because it's a long spelling. And the website is theboldfemme.com, and I'm almost ready. So by the time this show goes out, it is ready.
Oh, okay,
We'll be ready.
perfect.
And I would love to connect with you. I do offer a free call. So if you would like to know what your superpower is, let's connect.
Awesome. Yeah. So that's for anyone that's interested in working with you.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
I love it. All right. Is there anything else that you wanted to add before we end the show?
I'm going to add another exercise in the end because.
Oh, yeah. I love exercises. Go for it.
Yes, because this is the only thing which takes it to the next level. And this is easy. Every morning when you look in the mirror, just tell yourself, because I couldn't say I love you at the beginning. So I told myself, I like you. And I also touch my face like a secret lover would do. And you get to practice this. Like what you really want, giving it to yourself. And it all starts with love.
Beautiful. All right, Ildiko. Well, it was so amazing getting to know you better. So I am really excited for you and everything that you have coming out.
Thank you so much, Amanda. It was a pleasure to be here. Wish you so much success with your things.
Thank you so much. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
EMFs, electrosmog, and geopathic stress are an increasing problem in today's world. As someone who lives in a major city, one of the ways that I help lessen this kind of stress on my body is with a Soma Vedic. Soma Vedic is designed on the principles of controlled release of energy from precious and semi-precious stones and metals such as platinum, palladium, gold, and silver. This creates a coherent field more than 2,800 square feet. It's an Eastern approach to wellness combined with Western frequency therapy technology, and this puts Soma Vedic in a very unique device category all on its own. It helps with mitigating negative effects of EMF, radiation, including 4G, 5G, Wi-Fi, geopathic stress, Curry and Hartman lines, oxidative stress, and free radicals. Soma Vedic also structures water and changes it into mountain quality spring water that is natural to our bodies and cells. It can structure and harmonize any tap water or bottled water. It provides water in its most natural state, just like nature intended. And you can harness the benefit just by placing your water jug next to Soma Vedic. You can check out somavedic.com, and for 10% off, you can use my code PANACEA, PANACEA.